Cheers. Hi, Wise Thoughts. Marcy, Susan.
Cheers.
Ladies. Well, I feel positive today. And, you know, we try to maintain that positive attitude, even when life throws us an unexpected curveball. And something happened recently, something unexpected that really showed me a way to really keep that positive attitude in a situation that is really one of my biggest personal challenges that way. And that's when I'm driving. Okay. I have to admit, sometimes, you know, you're stuck in traffic with a driver. And so
You get road rage?
No. Road irritation.
Okay. A little road rash.
So it happened the other morning because we had the Cortez at our house, and that's our old vintage motorhome that is my husband's pride and joy and passion. And he had it at the house doing a little work. He was going to take it off to the shop to get some repairs done. I was going to go pick him up and take him to work. We had this whole thing orchestrated, and I had to Zoom to work, and it was one of those crazy, stressful days. And he was out getting it warmed up, and I could hear it, blum, 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 blum. I'm thinking, okay. And then it was eerily quiet. And he didn't say goodbye. I didn't hear him drive down the hill. We live on a very steep hill around a blind curve, and I didn't hear him take off. And I thought, uh-oh. So I go outside, and the Cortez is crosswise across our street, you know, and the hill coming down, and there's another little cul-de-sac that hits right there. So the Cortez was like in the middle of one of those little roundabout things, you know, and there was a space on one side and a space on the other, and Richard's in there, shaking, trying to dial his phone because he was maneuvering it, and the engine died and the brakes failed. Oh, and he just managed to get it stopped before it creamed the neighbor's car or ran down the hill into the creek. So there we are. And fortunately, there was room on both sides for the cars to pass by. And I couldn't go to work. I had to help him because the cars coming down the hill was a blind curve and there was a lot to manage. So I had to let go of any expectation of doing anything until the tow truck came. So we called AAA, very good, and they're on their way, you know, they'll be there in 20 minutes. And so we set up our little checkpoints up the hill. I'm up the hill and he's down the hill, and we're directing traffic. And it was cool because at least we could chat with the neighbors and go get coffee if we wanted, which is a lot more comfortable than you usually are waiting for the tow truck. So I said, okay, let's have some fun. Took some pictures, posted to Facebook. And then the car started driving down because it was, you know, starting to be commute time. And I noticed that there were about 3 different kinds of drivers. The first drivers would just stop, and they'd look at the Cortez across the street, and they wouldn't figure out what's going on, and I'm waving to them to slow down, and they just stop. Okay, so I have to go over, explain. They were all nice, and then they kind of creeped by and around the Cortez and down the hill. Okay, so that's all fine. There was the next group would slow down when I asked them. They'd get the lay of the land pretty quickly, and then they just, you know, do their little zigzag. Literally slowed them down by a second or two. And they were on their way. Cool. The last group was really what kind of shocked me and got me thinking, because they would come barreling down that hill. They wouldn't even slow down. I'm standing on the street like this. They don't slow down, kind of give me a little hand gesture as they go by. And then they see the Cortez and they skid around, gravel's flying. They're like drifting, you know, those drifting movies. and away they go. And I thought, oh my God, this is something that's so silly, so minor, so, they don't even have to stop. And yet they're getting themselves all worked up about it and really angry at me and angry at us and just really, irritated. So I got to thinking about what makes me irritated when I'm driving and thinking, okay, sometimes I do get a little, hot about some things that really are no big deal. I mean, it might be a few seconds, even a few minutes of my time. And then I thought, what about those poor people that are sitting there on the side of the road, or there's a car crash and somebody's really hurt, and they've got it way worse than I do. And so I should have compassion, compassion for them, because that's what I wanted in that moment. I just wanted them to say, hey, look at those poor people there, and I'm just gonna give them a break. I'll wave and smile and say no big deal, like many of the people did. And so I'm learning to really remember that when I'm on the road and I start to feel that irritation, I'm thinking, wait, think about them and look at their situation, and wow, yeah, it sucks to be them, so yeah, have a nice day. Good luck with whatever you're having to deal with. And I found that it really, really is helping me stay positive. So I just want to offer that, if you're on the road or anywhere and starting to feel irritated, slow line at the store checking out, and somebody's fumbling for their money or wallet or whatever, and just okay, it's a minute of my time. No big deal. What is a big deal, though, is this. Cheers.
And
so don't do this while you're driving.
Yeah. No, this is water, so.
Yeah, mine too.